who said what? Oh, that's so new. Now who said what? Them rumors true. Now who said what? Oh, that's so new. Royal voices with the business just for you. Yeah. Now who said what? What's going on, y'all? Yeah, honestly, truly. What's going on, y'all? It is your boy KVNGJAY, host of Royal Voices Podcast, Season 2, Episode Motherfucker 7. Let's get into it. One more time. This is Season 2, Episode Motherfucking 7, y'all. The 7 is the number of completion. And, you know, I was thinking to myself, I'm like, we only on episode 7, but then it hit me. Bi-weekly episodes, that makes sense. So, let me start it in April, so, you know. But I'm just happy I'm being consistent. You know, I'm glad we've been consistent, even though topics and shit are starting to piss me off real bad. You know, I gotta find happiness and joy in these things. And I really love this podcast, y'all. So for those who've been tuning in, for those who've been subscribing, thank you. For those interacting and engaging on social media platforms, thank you. To all the people we've had on for Artist Spotlight, clap it up for y'all. Thank you. Yeah. I'm in good spirits. I am in real good spirits, y'all. I'm not gonna hold you. I just got back from a trip. I was in Tampa, Florida for my fraternity's conclave. Shout out to the mob. For Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated. We showed up, showed out. God showed up, showed out. And you know, I can't get into all that yet how I want to. But it was a successful event, and I returned rejuvenated. But I also returned with a lot of shit to do for work. My intern's still going on, child, so that's the thing. The fall season coming up. Kvngdom still doing this thing. I got music to... It's been going on so much so that I, you know... wasn't in the field as I should have been for Artist Spotlight this episode. Aww. But we will be spinning the block on something I did season 1. And I'm excited for that because maybe it'll be different this time. So, unfortunately, this episode no Artist Spotlight. But next episode, we'll be back into our regular scheduled programming. You know, with the travels and stuff going on, it was just a lot happening. But y'all, as I mentioned before, this is Royal Voices Podcast, the official podcast of Kvngdom, a creative hub for music, art, and fashion, a space where we uplift creatives and artists in a variety of ways through networking, engagement, business knowledge, and a ton of other things. So to make sure that y'all don't miss anything going on with the brand for Kvngdom, make sure you lock in with us on social media, Instagram and TikTok at kvngdom.co. That's again on Instagram and TikTok. And then follow the podcast, Royal Voices Podcast, on Instagram and TikTok at Royal Voices Podcast, all one word, as well as on YouTube too, to tune into the bi-weekly episodes of Royal Voices Podcast for the show. Make sure y'all lock in with Kvngdom Essentials on kvngdom.com, kvngdom.com, and go ahead and get you some Kvngdom Essential drip. And, of course, last but not least, the kid, your host, Josh. You can follow me on Instagram at _JAYTHEDON _ and the link tree in my bio has access to all the other things I be getting involved in. Now, y'all, I'm really trying to relish in these lifted and happy spirits. I really, truly am. I got my water. I got, you know, all the things pulled up. I'm ready for the show. I'm excited. So with that being said, I'm going to try to maintain this happy energy. But it's very likely as this episode continues, I may start getting slick. You may start hitting my vocabulary, get a little more colorful because stuff is stupid. And I really want to address those things. So we're going to get into things with our first segment being the politics segment. So, y'all, this episode, I feel like the last 2 episodes, I have been not necessarily like a downer, but I think looking back on the episodes of recent, We've been discussing this big bill that got passed recently. We've talked about alligator Alcatraz, deportations going on. It's so much happening. So I thought from this angle this time, instead of kind of covering the bigger stories going on in the world, Google is a friend. Google is free, and by this point, if you ain't looking into shit, you don't give a damn. And I'm holding you. Yep, you accountable. Have you used them links I've been putting in? Have you been on Google? Hell, did you ask Grok? Did you ask ChatGPT? Have you been? I don't know. But this episode, I really want to focus the politics space on one of my international baccalaureate Rufus King days mindsets, where uh, we look at the parallels of things and how one thing impacts the next. Because I want y'all to understand how politics not only shapes the world and the things that we are in, but it also impacts the media. And I feel like all the topics on today is heavily focused on the media. And, I want to make sure y'all understand how these things influence. So the first thing coming up is Jubilee debate with Medhi Hassan. So we're going to get into that first. I want to go ahead and read real quick for those who don't know who Medhi Hassan is, because I'm kind of getting a gist of him as of recent. But just really, really quick. Medhi. Okay, yeah, I was right. So, Medhi Hassan was born July 10th, 1979, and is a British American progressive broadcaster, writer, and founder of the media company Zeto. He presented the Medhi Hassan show on Peacock from October 2020, on MSNBC from February 2021, until the show's cancellation in November of 2023. On the final broadcast of 7 January 2024, he announced he was leaving MSNBC. In February of 2024, he joined The Guardian as a columnist. So he kind of continues his work through, education. He is, clearly a political activist. He kind of in that space of, discussing not only journalism, but more broadly political issues and things like that. Now, he is like I mentioned before, on Jubilee. And for those who don't know what Jubilee is basically a platform that started out, I guess, originally trying to provide spaces for diversity of thought and give places for controversial topics to be discussed from both sides. That was the intention and the purpose of that platform. Now, the reason why this space and Medhi is being discussed right now is because recently Jubilee released a debate where it was one person versus 20 far right thinkers. Now, they do these things quite often. That's how I got introduced to people like Parker and Dean and stuff like that, Charlie Kirk and stuff like that. That's how I got introduced to individuals in that political space, and kind of really been able to gauge how people think, not only about politics, but how their political views shape the way that they operate as people. Because whether y'all like to understand it or not, politics is not just a space of divisiveness. It's not just a space of us disagreeing with each other. Now, and I've been saying this for some time since this election was going on with Trump and Kamala Harris, that the political space is so charged right now. It's no longer about politics. It's about morality. It's about ethics and character. And when you have people debating as of today, it's no longer around what you think the price of lunch should be. It's no longer around what you think this or that, as far as simple things that we can, agree to disagree on. We're now collectively disagreeing and arguing on things like civil rights and human rights and just humanity, things that really shouldn't be a conversation of debate. Now, the debate with Medhi and the 20 far right people is about an hour and 40 minutes long from start to finish, and I was truthfully disgusted by the screen time a lot of these racist, prejudice, and xenophobic motherfuckers was even getting. Now, I'm not using those words lightly. I I'm going to link the debate down below. I want you all to go and watch the debate. I want you all to sit, maybe while you're working, maybe while you're at the gym, maybe while you want to drive somewhere, to watch and listen to that full hour and 40-minute discussion. Because the words I just used, racist, prejudice, and xenophobic, again, were selected for a reason. That's what the fuck I meant. I have never in my life seen so many people get up on candid camera and operate the way these people did. And they were operating like literal Nazis. And one motherfucker, that's the gag, one motherfucker flat out said he was a fascist. And it is what it is. No funny shit, no exaggeration. They've officially said the quiet, not so quiet part out loud. I've been saying this for almost going on a year and a half now. I need y'all to listen. And because I know a lot of y'all not going to go ahead and watch that damn debate because it's too damn long, or because you don't feel like taking the time to go find this shit, or for some people who don't really, want to accept things for what they are not going to tune into this. So what I did, like I did last episode, I think I'm going to start doing this a lot more often. I'm going to play some people for y'all. This is one person, right, who was on the show and chose to speak the way he spoke. So I'm going to go ahead and play this for y'all, and I just want to try to sit and marinate in it, okay?
I am an immigrant. I'm speaking from personal experience. Get the hell out. I don't even like... I should get the hell out.
Yes.
Why?
I don't want you here. So when you go, we don't have jobs. We don't have people to do this, and that, and the other. No, yes, we do. Okay, we don't have a labor shortage. We have a good job shortage. And when you keep bringing these people in, and they're taking those jobs.
The good job shortage is the fault of big firms, employers. I'm an employer. I can say that.
Who hires the immigrants?
Who hires the immigrants?
Yeah.
Employers.
Exactly. So when you bring up these big firms,
okay, so
that's the way that keeps wages down. You understand that, right?
So let me ask you a question. If you got rid of all immigrants coming in tomorrow, moratorium, you think that Republicans and employers of big firms would suddenly raise all the wages?
You notice how you didn't answer what I said. You notice how you believe. It was a complete. Your ankles were right. You pivoted the hell away from the conversation.
Is that what you? I'm on the subject.
Okay?
Do you believe that wages? I'm just wondering how naive you are. You believe that the 1% will raise wages in the federal wage if we stop immigration?
They will be forced to. When you increase labor's relationship to capital, okay, and you give labor more bargaining power because you're tightening the supply of labor.
This is a very simplistic understanding of economics because you're
explain I'm wrong.
I'm telling you how you're wrong. Because you're ignoring the fact that when immigrants come into an area, they spend money. They create jobs through their presence.
1/5 of their monthly income leaves the country.
That's a good thing also because you don't like USA foreign aid. So this is the point. They create jobs. I came into this country. So far, every one of my assumptions about you has been correct. But listen to me. I am an immigrant. I'm speaking from personal experience.
Get the hell out.
I don't even like... I should get the hell out.
Yes.
Why?
I don't want you here.
Why?
Because you come here and say all this bullshit about how Americans are lazy. Why? You push your left-wing politics.
I never said Americans are lazy.
I don't know why you say this.
I never said Americans are lazy.
Yes, you are. You're saying immigrants have to come into this country so they can do jobs that we don't want to do. That's exactly what you said.
When did I say it?
Oh, really?
When did I say it? We're on YouTube. Guys watching on YouTube, rewind to the time where I said immigrants are doing jobs we don't want to do. When did I say those words? Words that came out of my mouth.
Okay, so why do we have to bring in immigrants? Why do we have to bring in immigrants to the country if we have people who are going to do the jobs?
Pause. You've been voted out.
It's nice talking to you.
Nice talking to you.
You're going to have to go.
Nice talking to you. You're going to have to go, bro, is what he said as I left, to an American citizen. Good to know where you stand on immigration. It's not about immigration, is it? That's what it's not about.
Yeah, okay, buddy.
Now there, I just paused it. The last sentence, because it was a little muffled there. The last sentence says, "You're gonna be the first one that's going to the promised land." Okay, so that's just one video from the Jubilee debate, where Medhi is arguing with one of the 20 far right people, and the far right guy says during the debate, "Get out the country," even though Medhi is a American citizen. Now, the second one I'm going to play is another individual from that 20 far right debating with Medhi who flat out says he's a fascist.
But you don't condemn Nazi persecution of the Jews.
I think that there was a little bit of persecution.
We may have to rename the show because you're a little bit more than a far-right Republican.
Hey, what can I say?
I think you can say, I'm a fascist.
Yeah, I am.
So, like I said before, I've said several times, I've said this season, I've said last season, I've said in passing, I've said with friends, I've said with people at my job, I've said these things. A lot of the MAGA supporters, people on the right wing specifically, are racist, prejudiced, xenophobic, homophobic, and misogynistic. A lot of people on the far right are Nazis. Nazis. People who do not give a fuck about your existence. Now, I've been tired specifically, I'm going to talk about Jubilee for a second. I've been tired of Jubilee for some time because I really personally don't understand why they keep giving motherfuckers like that a platform. I go back to what I said last season when this election started, and I think I've said it this season as well. Debates specifically, debates are meant to provide an argument with substantial information and backing and efforts to make your counterpart, the other part of the argument, the person arguing against you, comprehend not only what you're saying, but accept your view and vice versa. Right? One person I mentioned a lot on this podcast is my line brother, my fraternity brother, my brother, LB, my Neil. That's Neil, okay? Shout out my LB. Neil and I debate all the time. I mean all the time. Whenever we meet up, whenever we link up, we're debating. Right? And I mean debate to the point people think we mad at each other. Like to the point people think we got issues with each other. In the moment when they hearing us talk to each other. We're not angry, we're not mad. We are just passionately talking to one another. Okay? And when I say we debate, the way that we do debate is because we both are fully capable, fully grown men, capable of articulating our viewpoint, explaining here's why this is my view, here's why I'm saying what I'm saying. And when we're back and forth, we are poking holes in what each other are thinking, not because we want to just be right. We can talk all damn day just to sound like we being right. But we are debating because we're trying to create a new mindset for each other in certain things. Okay, and we're both capable of saying, you know what, motherfucker, you was right. I was wrong. My bad. Or you know what, I was tripping. You got a point. And I'm usually says things like that sometimes. Same with him. We're both usually our people acknowledging like that got a point. You got a point. Okay, but like and it's that simple because we're able to debate. We're able to talk about things that not only are sometimes controversial, but with the intentions of growing more knowledgeable as a person, growing more understanding as an individual, right? The issue I have with Jubilee is that is not happening on Jubilee. As of lately, Jubilee has been putting out content really just bolstering up hateful motherfuckers. People who are not just engaging in political conversations, but are just trying to hear themselves talk. You get what I'm saying? Like it's not just people who trying to hear themselves talk, but it's a lot of people who has a rhetoric and a hate in their heart, truthfully, and get on these platforms and try to say this sick, crazy, homophobic, racist, stupid shit. And then when it gets backlash from it, they try to hide behind, it's just politics. It's just politics. The amount of people I've been hearing say shit like, y'all really cutting people off for their political beliefs? No, goofy bitch. You're supporting people, you're uplifting people, you're backing people who are literally stripping things away from people of color, people who are poor, people who are working they ass off to just get by. It's beyond politics. You are bolstering people who are found guilty in courts for rape, who have track histories of not only saying and pushing racist shit, but practicing it on an active basis. You get what I'm saying to you? So that's one spectacle, but then on the other end, it's a lot of people who gonna just say stupid shit because we are in a time right now where political things are so charged. Controversy fucking sells. So I believe there's a lot of people who are just saying shit just because they think it sounds crazy, chaotic, like Charlie Kirk sometimes. I'm not saying he always saying that, but I feel like he's a person who does do that because you notice it gets you attention. And a lot of you ugly, miserable, attention deprived motherfuckers is people doing these things. And then when people say something to you about it, you're personally attacked. Well, I'm not racist. Well, I'm not. Yes, you are. Do you hear yourself? Do you see what you're doing? You get what I'm saying? This is it's crazy because to hear a motherfucker flat out say they a fascist, to hear people say, "Yep, I'm racist," or "Yep, I'm doing this XYZ," it's because these media platforms and the current state of politics is not only so visible right now, but it is being promoted. It's being encouraged. And that kind of behavior, that kind of mentality is emboldening people on the common watchers who are attuned to these things. They feel more justified behind a rhetoric. They feel more empowered to do the shit that they're doing, to say the shit that they're saying. I just played y'all a clip where the motherfucker said out his own mouth that he's a fascist. Y'all just heard a man during a recorded, well-watched debate tell somebody who's an American citizen who is ethnically Indian or British, whatever have you, to go back to your country, get out of here. You the first one on the boat to the promised land. What the fuck are we talking about? Y'all is too comfortable. and I'm specifically saying white people, right? Like y'all, the white people on the right side, y'all are too comfortable. Y'all are advocating for wars. Y'all are advocating for racial divides. Y'all are calling out for violence. Y'all are doing some crazy OD6 shit, and when people say something about it or do something about it, now they the problem. And what's crazy to me is like the shit I've been saying for the last year and a half is in your face in broad daylight. A lot of these MAGA people, would much rather POC and other non-white, straight, cisgendered men to either be imprisoned, enslaved, or deported out of a fucking country. Or dead. They don't give a damn. That's the part we have to comprehend. When you have somebody being told who's a U.S. citizen during a debate to go back to their country, to get out of this country, to leave this country, and they're a U.S. citizen, during the debate, it's not because you have an issue with immigration. It's not because of their citizenship status. It's because of his ethnicity. It's because of how he looks. And a lot of these old racist people in these leadership positions currently are emboldening the younger white straight men to believe this way. Y'all are convinced the world is against you. Y'all are convinced if that black person gets a job, your job is gone. You are convinced that the world is operating in a way to put you down, that DE&I is the reason you're unemployed. No, Billy Bob. It's because you can't read beyond a second grade level. Y'all, this shit is weird. And Jubilee, y'all not having debate, y'all platforming hateful motherfuckers. And at some point, people gonna start calling y'all out. Because there's no way as producers for that show y'all sat there and allowed that shit to go on like that. And yes, the motherfucker who said he was a fascist lost his fucking job, bitch. Clap that on up. Y'all have to be reprimanded for these things. That's not just political beliefs. You're advocating for people to be harmed. Get it through your head. What's not clocking? What's not going through your thick ass skull? Y'all are weird. Y'all are weirdos. Y'all are hateful motherfuckers, and a lot of y'all operate like demons on a spiritual tip. But I ain't gonna go there. Y'all are insufferable human beings. And that's not all Republicans. That's not all conservatives. I even know I don't understand what the fuck you conserving. The hell are you? What the fuck are you conserving? Hey, but you have it. But I don't believe all y'all operate like that. But a lot of y'all are some hateful, disgusting people. Immature, insufficient. You got a trapped teenager inside of y'all. A lot of y'all is hurt from high school. A lot of y'all is hurt from your abusive ass parents. Some trauma you never grew from. And now you mad at every black person, Hispanic person, anybody who transgender, gay, whatever the hell, that woman who ain't want to fucking date you, now you an incel. Y'all tired of y'all. It is aggravating as shit. And again, this is not all y'all. It's not all white people. It's not all Republicans. It's not all conservatives. But it's a large group. It's a large group. It's a lot of people. And when you do not take the time to unlearn the shit you've been taught, because hate of this magnitude is taught. It's taught. And we're going to talk some other things later in the episode about shit like that. But this shit is taught. You are raised in these things. So when you get old enough to comprehend shit for your fucking self, Take a look in the mirror and grow, because don't shit y'all be saying make sense. It don't. You try to hide your hate, your rhetoric, all this stupid ass shit behind it's just politics. It's just my political beliefs. It's not political. You're being hateful. And it's not my job to fix that shit. It's not my job to give a damn about it. Yes, it's, oh my God, it's crazy. It's sad as hell. But bitch, you're hurting yourself. You're hurting yourself. And I want the society to just be safe. People of color, gay people, trans people, the whole LGBT, women, children, be safe. Be safe. 'Cause I'm just seeing people more and more and more and more wrap up like that. The person who was talking about the immigration stuff, when I say he was shaking as he was talking, he was shaking like he was excited to be this damn angry. What are you mad at? What did the immigrant do to you? That's my part. You mad about jobs and opportunities and shit. Can you read? Can you write? Spell your name. I ain't gonna go down that road, y'all. I'm really trying. But please be safe. Be safe. Protect yourself. Tinto, protect yourself. And stand in your light. Stand in your light. Don't cower for shit. For nan mediocre motherfucker. Don't stand down for nothing. And I'm saying that because we are in a time now where people are being encouraged to hide, to make themselves small. It's not the time for that. It's not the time for that. That's what they want you to do. Don't be complacent. Be attentive. Know what you need to know. Be aware. Be observant and move accordingly. Move smart, but be safe. Because I'm only seeing stuff like that ramp up. We're going to move on to this next topic, y'all, but just please, y'all, be safe, okay? Please, 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 and continue to fight the good fight. Be on the right side of history. Be on the right side of history. And take a second, and that's what I'm saying, we're going to go to the next topic. Take a second to put yourself in the next motherfucker's shoes. A lot of the time, y'all got differences and issues with each other because you can't comprehend the life of that next person. It's easy to watch something happen and watch things occur around you and have an opinion versus be the one in it. So for all those people who are cheering on these deportations, put yourself in those shoes. Ask yourself, how would you feel if your mama got ripped out your house in the middle of the night while y'all was asleep? Ask yourself how you would feel if your brother got put into a truck coming home from school and you don't know where the hell they at. Think about these things. Think about how it would feel if you were sitting in your car not doing anything and the police bashed your fucking windows in, hit you in your shit, then arrested you as if you did something wrong. Put yourself in a position of getting pulled over because your tail light is quote unquote broken, you get shot and you end up dead. Or put yourself in the shoes of the mothers and the fathers of people who are unalive due to police brutality. Put yourself in the shoes of people who are being taken off streets and deported with no rhyme nor reason. Put yourself in these shoes of the people of Gaza who are running through the streets because they hear sirens going off because bombs are falling from the sky. Put yourself in these positions before you open your fucking mouth. I'm done. Who I'm getting hot, y'all. We just started the show. Anyway, we gonna move on. Y'all, next up on the docket is CBS. And my friend said I should title this segment CBS Sucking Dick. So I'm gonna go ahead and read two things, but first, just for a quick synopsis of what this segment will be. CBS has recently canceled the Late Show with Stephen Colbert, I think his name is. Now, this show been on for some time, y'all. This man, I feel like he been on this show for some decades or some. I'm not sure how long this show been on, but this show feel like it's been on forever. And the show was coincidentally canceled right after Colbert mocked the settlement Trump and Paramount had over a 60-minute interview with Kamala Harris and Trump during the election. So I'm going to go ahead and read first the settlement because I feel like that was the part that started this decline of or this interest in wanting to cancel Stephen Colbert's show, and then I'm going to read about the show cancellation. So the settlement information comes from AP News. And the headline is titled Paramount would pay $16 million in settlement with Trump over 60 Minutes interview. So in a case that became a closely watched test of whether a corporation would back its journalist and stand up to President Trump, Paramount Global decided to pay Trump $16 million to settle a lawsuit regarding editing a CBS story 60 Minutes news program. After effects of the deal are likely to linger. Journalists were infuriated Wednesday, and the senator wants to investigate whether bribery laws were broken. The company was hoping to put the issue to rest as it seeks administration approval of a merger. Keep that in your mind, okay? Keep that in your mind. Paramount, which owns CBS, pays or says the money will go to Trump's future presidential library and to pay his legal fees. And it is not apologizing or expressing regret about the story. The company announced the deal overnight before a Wednesday morning shareholders meeting. Pause. Don't y'all find it weird that as of lately, just a lot of shit be happening overnight while we sleep? I'm going to continue. Trump's lawyers claimed he suffered mental anguish following the 60 Minutes interview in October with his Democratic opponent, then Vice President Kamala Harris, and sued for $20 billion. The interview caused you mental anguish? That was nothing else you've ever done, said, or been visible on social media, news outlets, nothing else caused you mental anguish. Okay, so at issue was the broadcast editing. So here's what the issue actually was as to why Trump wanted to sue. So at issue was the broadcast's editing. Harris was shown giving two different answers to a question about Israel by correspondent Bill Whitaker in clips aired on 60 Minutes and Face the Nation. Both responses came as part of a long-winded answer that Harris gave to Whitaker. Editing, for brevity's sake, is commonplace in television. When we do the same thing for the podcast, where if there's a pause or I'm breathing or there's just a gap in time, I cut that out to keep the conversation going. So that is a normal thing to do. What was jarring was hearing different words from Harris directly after Whitaker spoke. Trump said CBS was trying to make his opponent look better. It wasn't hard to do. Let me be quiet. CBS said that claim had no merit in trying to get the case thrown out. Many legal experts dismissed the president's claim, but the Trump-appointed head of the Federal Communications Commission launched an investigation, a complication for Paramount as it seeks administration approval of its proposed merger with Skydance Media. In Wednesday's shareholders meeting, Paramount co-CEO George Cheeks said companies often settle litigation to avoid high legal costs and the unpredictability of a trial. Settlement allows a company to focus on its objectives rather than being mirrored in uncertainty and distraction. Cheeks said, that's taking me out. But it was received by Trump's legal team with excitement. With the settlement, a spokesman said Trump delivers another win for the American people. This settlement is a cowardly capitulation of the billion of corporate leaders of Paramount and a fundamental betrayal of 60 Minutes and CBS News, said Rome Hartman, who helped produce the Harris interview for the show. The story that was the subject of the lawsuit was edited by the book and in accordance with CBS News standards. CBS journalists stood against the deal, seemingly in works for months. CBS News president and CEO Wendy McMullen and 60 Minutes executive producer Bill Owens, who both opposed the settlement, resigned this spring. In a letter to Paramount's leadership in early May, the 60 Minutes correspondent said they were troubled by reports that Paramount might settle the case this acknowledges some sort of wrongdoing on our part. So I will encourage y'all to continue reading that case, and I'll link things down below. But the settlement aspect, again, came from a issue that Trump had about the way that Kamala Harris was portrayed, and for some reason he believed it made her look better, even though she didn't have to do too much shit to look better. She was just better. Anyway, now this goes on to the show cancellation. Now, I want y'all to keep in mind, like I said before, that the CEO and co-CEO are trying to have a merger with Skydance Media, I believe it's called. So keep that in your mind as this continues. This was a $16 million settlement that Paramount paid out. Now, this next article is about the Late Show being canceled, and it's the headline reads, Stephen Colbert's Late Show is canceled by CBS and will end in May 2026. CBS is canceling the Late Show with Stephen Colbert next May, shuttering a decades-old TV institution in a changing media landscape and removing from air one of the president's most prominent and persistent late-night critics. CBS said Late Show was canceled for financial reasons, not for content, but the timing. 3 days after Colbert criticized the settlement between Trump and Paramount. This is also the platform CBS, CBS is part of Paramount. Paramount owns CBS. This happened 3 days after Colbert criticized the settlement between Trump and Paramount, parent company of CBS, over a 60-minute story led 2 U.S. senators to publicly question the motives, as did the people who work for CBS, okay? And leadership, key leaders of CBS and Paramount have been like, what the hell, Colbert told his audience at New York's Ed Sullivan Theater that he had learned Wednesday night that after a decade on air, next year will be our last season. It's the end of the Late Show on CBS. I'm not being replaced. This is all just going away. The audience was clearly mad as hell. And he said, yeah, I share y'all feelings. Colbert is 61. I did not know that. 3 top Paramount and CBS executives praised Colbert's show, a staple of the nation's zeitgeist, in a statement that said the cancellation is purely a financial decision against a challenging backdrop in late night. It is not related to any way to the show's performance, content, or other matters happening at Paramount. Colbert and Trump, in his Monday monologue, Colbert said he was offended by the $16 million settlement reached by Paramount, whose pending sale to Skydance Media needs the Trump administration's approval. He said the technical game is in legal circles for the deal, and this was a big fat bribe. Call it what the hell it is, okay? I know that's right. Colbert said, he said, I don't know if anything will repair my trust in this company, Colbert said, but just taking a stab at it, I'd say 16 million would help. Trump had sued Paramount Global, of course, again, over the 60-minute video with Kamala Harris. And the president is a longtime target of Colbert on Friday. said the Truth Social that Trump literally said that he absolutely loves and that Colbert was fired. So basically, Trump is happy that Colbert got fired. And he insinuated the late night host on ABC, CBS, and NBC. This is what Trump wrote. He said, I hear ABC's Jimmy Kimmel is next, Trump wrote. Has even less talent than Colbert. Greg Gutfeld is better than all of them from Fox News, including the moron on NBC who ruined the once great Tonight Show. Colbert took over The Late Show in 2015 after becoming a big name in comedy and news satire, working on Comedy Central with Jon Stewart on The Daily Show, and hosted The Colbert Report, which riffed on right-wing talk shows. So I would encourage y'all to go ahead and read that article as well, also on AP News. And I'll once again link those down below. So I want to follow those two stories up with this last thing that just happened today. Trump announced on Truth Social that the new owners of CBS as a network had agreed to give him $20 million in promo on their platforms. Aww. Yeah. It's very much a situation where, and I said the awe because I'm not baffled by nothing I see no more in the world we live in. And unfortunately, we are witnessing in real time the presidential administration corrupt a media platform. It's not behind the scenes. It's not hidden. It's in your face. It is in your face. I'm going to put y'all on to some business. Okay? The same way they said corporations and institutions don't like going to court. Right? Especially when the reason why they're going to court can be misconstrued, misunderstood, inflated, or is truly, truly controversial. Like they stated, it can be unpredictable how trial cases can go. So when you have people so willing to back what they said and say, wait, we didn't do our job wrong, we didn't do this wrong, and they're actually willing to go against their institution, their managers, their bosses, their leaders, and say, wait a minute, why are we backing down from this? What's going on? And you're not really getting told nothing. It's for a reason. You have a person who threatened to sue a network for $20 billion. Then they settle for $16 million. Then, after the settlement, one of the prominent shows of that network that is known for mocking, discrediting, dragging a president that people really don't like, the show just stops. No rhyme or reason because of financial constraints. 3 days after a $16 million settlement. Then that same person that launched the investigation was appointed by the president who gets dragged. Then that same president goes onto a platform they created to now threaten other late night hosts and TV show hosts who also criticized his leadership. And he bolsters a person from a network that kisses his ass 24/7. And then today gets a deal from the same network for $20 million worth of promo and advertising. I want y'all to realize we are really in real time watching corruption happen before our eyes. And I can see people already playing the mental gymnastics. Well, that's not what's happening. That's not what's going on. Yes, it is. That's literally what's happening. So the shit is crazy. And like I said before, these topics are being discussed because I want you to see just how far politics can go and all the moving parts and the facets that uphold it, that contribute to it. Propaganda is real. It is designed to make sure you don't even know you're witnessing propaganda. That's why I preach so often on this show to read. Go to reliable news sources. AP, Reuters, NPR, PBS. You can really usually find reputable sources if you just follow the places Trump and the friends don't fucking like. But also, go and see what you're seeing on other platforms, on those right-leaning things, on those left-leaning things, on those moderate-leaning things, and form your own thought processes. I hate hearing people just say, well, that's just my opinion. Bitch, you don't know shit. How are you forming an opinion with no knowledge? How are you forming an opinion with no information? I can say cars should run on ketchup or cars can run on ketchup. No, and you could tell me as a mechanic, no, it can't. And I can say, yes, it can. And you say, well, why do you think that? And I say, well, that's just my opinion. You see how dumb that shit sound? That is how y'all sound in real time. And I want y'all to know more than ever, be attentive to what you're consuming. Please, please get off of TikTok. Get off of Facebook. Get off of Twitter. Pick up a book. Not an app. A physical, tangible, motherfucking paperback, hardcover. Cross-reference stuff. Critical thinking. Comprehension skills. If you do not possess those things right now, you can learn. Education doesn't stop until you are deceased. The phrase knowledge is power is not bullshit. That's the difference between a billionaire and a poor man. Reading, knowledge. Knowledge. That's it. Morality gets you far. Morality you should always carry with you forever, even when you got $1 million or you only got 2 cents. Because I believe that form of currency will always reign supreme. It don't cost you shit to be kind. It don't cost you shit to tell the truth. It don't cost you nothing to be a good person. But when you can match that with intellect, you can't take this away. It can't be stolen from you, but it can be corrupted. It can be misled. But it's on you to identify what the hell is misleading you. And when you recognize some information is clashing with what you think you know, before you flip out, because your mind, your cognitive dissonance will make you think you're being attacked personally. And I promise you, baby, you're not. You are being challenged. Your thought process is being challenged, and that's good. I see this a lot in people who are very, very, very religious. When you draw a contradiction, you think they in your mind you just told them God is not real. You just told them you a demon. all because you contradicted something that they believed. Now they saying you going to hell. Now you're questioning God. Girl, I really just want us to be more educated, more attentive. And I want y'all to take this serious. It's easy to keep scrolling past and, not pay attention to it and just hear what I'm saying and be like, all right, blase, blase. This is important because this is shaping the world we're in. This is shaping the things we do, the things we operate with, how we move as people. Your rights, your protectives, your thing that, keep your neighborhoods and your societies operational and safe. So take note of these things. I'm going to keep watching this shit with CBS and how far this go, and I want to see what these lawyers come up with. And I want to see just how far the mental gymnastics go. That's all. That's all. I think over the next few years, we need to be attentive to the shit Trump and friends are going to be trying to do. And I'm interested in seeing for CBS, if these things continue to operate the way that they are, how corrupted that network will become. Same with Paramount. At that point, when you're seeing all these kind of things, when you're seeing the manipulation, the coercion, the bribery, the fraud, when you're seeing all this and you are consciously aware that you are consuming propaganda, when you are consciously aware of that and you are consciously aware things are false of what you're hearing, but you choose to believe it, I don't think you can call that propaganda no more. So what would you call it? With that being said, that's going to end our political segment, and we're going to continue on with the show. So now let's get to the fun shit, okay? For the last hour of the show. Let's get into the fun shit with Let's Talk About It with King. Yes, sir. So now, y'all, let's get into it. So first on the docket, we have Nicki Minaj versus Jay-Z versus TDE versus SZN. Now, this whole thing is the key, and I just feel like every time something happens with Nicki Minaj, everybody and a mama be blowing my phone up. Ain't this your girl? Go get your girl. Go get your girl. Y'all, this has been a thing since I was in school. Like, now, I'm going to give y'all this full story and the facts of what's going on, because I've been seeing a lot of misinformation. And for the sake of this conversation, you're going to hear the term allegedly out the ass. Allegedly. Okay, just because it's a lot. It's a lot. So, boom. We're going to go ahead and get right into it, okay? So, all of this starts with Roc Nation, okay? If you don't know what's going on, Nicki has been going at it with SZA, TDE, Jay-Z for a variety of things. And I'm going to break down what's going on and just follow along. So Roc Nation has been having issues with Nicki for years, okay? Nicki and Roc Nation have been throwing subliminals, little jabs for almost like 6-7 years now. I want to say since like 2017, 18, 19, one of those. And a lot of this, even with the hate train, remember the Nicki hate train that was going on for a little bit, where everybody was just coming out like, we don't like Nicki Minaj, either child, apparently, allegedly. That was orchestrated by Jay-Z and Desiree Perez. We're going to get into Desiree Perez. So, Miss Perez, y'all can probably go on YouTube and see this woman's name every damn where. But Desiree Perez is the CEO of Roc Nation, okay? She is also a ex-cartel member and an informant that snitched owned the cartel she was affiliated with, got pardoned by Donald Trump, and now sits as the CEO of one, since 2019, as the CEO of one of the most influential music labels today. Now, like I said before, Nicki and Roc Nation been throwing jabs for some years. And it kind of goes back to like when Nicki got getting that hate train, when Nicki got blackballed from radio, for them to make new wave for art for new female artists, down to that motherfucker deal she signed with Jay-Z for Tidal. And that I do want to say an honorable mention is also Atlantic Records, who has also had a hand in creating the feud that is Nicki Minaj and Cardi B, with the intentions of, again, knocking down Nicki and bolstering up Cardi B. Jay-Z kind of took that same formula and torch and ran with it with Megan Thee Stallion and Roc Nation, allegedly. So, with that understanding, this has been a thing going on for some time. And Nicki over the years has said, like, hey, y'all, this shit is happening. And, she's done so through Twitter and little live rants and Queen Radio and stuff like that. But this heat that's being carried really now is by Jay-Z, Roc Nation, and a few other people, allegedly. So Nicki, started first calling out Desiree Perez in that song she had with 6ix9ine called Trolls. Okay, and in that song, she talked a lot about there being snakes in people's camps, and there's a lot of rats in the industry and stuff like that. Not only on the track, but also on a live she did with 6ix9ine at the time, when she first kind of mentioned Desiree Perez. Now, over the last few months, I've been hearing this lady name left and right in a variety of things, from her and her kids to her and being part of the cartel to Trump and all this other stuff. Like, she has had a lot going on. So this situation with Roc Nation has truly been, a situation of them trying to basically knock down Nicki. Now, this is where TDE comes into play, right? Because apparently, allegedly, allegedly, all of this is alleged. Allegedly, TDE kind of was working with Jay-Z, allegedly, who are strategically positioning people and artists to try to knock down specifically the folks who kind of been nominated. So Drake, Nicki, and this is where Wayne and stuff come in for the Super Bowl. That's a whole other thing, child. But we gonna focus on Nicki right now. Focus on Nicki. So TDE was kind of involved in these things, allegedly. And, have been trying to put people into these spaces to knock people off. So one of those people is Doechii, allegedly, who has been positioned and, criticized for allegedly having inflated album numbers, along with Kendrick Lamar, allegedly, for his run with Not Like Us. And of course you heard, Drake say how his numbers was inflated and stuff like that too. And he even went on to sue UMG and Universal for pushing Kendrick Lamar's music. And then SZA, who has been allegedly paired with Kendrick Lamar to support his efforts against Drake and also make sure them tours was selling out, because it's alleged that they think Kendrick Lamar, the streets are saying that Kendrick Lamar can't sell out no stadiums. SZA can sell out stadiums. She's done that, but they felt like them together would make sure those tickets were sold. And again, those were efforts to knock down Drake specifically. Now, I love all these artists, okay? I really, really do. I love me some SZA. I love me some Kendrick. I love me some Doechii. I can't get enough of Doechii. And I personally never thought her, accolades. None of them accolades was inflated. I never thought that, because I was playing that damn album I was damn near half of them damn streams. I felt like personally. And with Kendrick, Not Like Us, to me, felt like it was everywhere. Everywhere. Like, I could not get away from that damn song, that damn run. I just couldn't escape it. And even the Super Bowl show, what? So I have a hard time believing the inflation aspects of these things, but these are the things that the streets are saying, allegedly. Now follow me back a little bit. Allegedly, folks are saying SZA again is being used to boost up Kendrick Lamar within those spaces, and this inflation conversation has been something Nicki has been very heavily talking about, specifically with TDE. Now, there was another space of them. People were saying Nicki was calling out TDE because of a song he was promoting called "Broken Barbies" or some shit like that. But that song, one, ain't got nothing to do with Nicki Minaj, and I have to say that for the record. It ain't got nothing to do with Nicki Minaj or that. I don't even know who that artist was, but that song was cool. It was cool, but and that had nothing to do with Nicki Minaj. So I'm not sure where that came from. I was just saying that on TikTok, and I was just like, I'm not following where this is coming from. But anyway, I did go ahead and Google them damn streams, okay, because I kept hearing and seeing in my research and stuff about this inflation. And in this inflation, the numbers, bots, and all that. So they were specifically talking about how as of recently, and this is where Nicki come back in. As of recently, I guess a lot of artists been caught using bots because Spotify's anti-bot policy recently changed. So let's go through this down memory lane. So from last month to this month, SZA, Doechii, and Kendrick monthly listeners and streams declined and seems to have caught people attention. Specifically, kind of all around this 30 million, 25 million mark of decline in listeners. So for SZA, allegedly from now this is the stats. This is some statistics for SZA from June to July. She had 23.7 million listeners alone. That declined from June to July. Doechii went from 60 million monthly listeners to 33 million listeners from June to July. And Kendrick Lamar went from 105.4 million listeners monthly to 80 million after this anti-bot crackdown. Which is why Nicki keeps talking about bot farms and y'all buying streams and all this other stuff. Now, this is relevant today because a lot of people try to discredit the things Nicki Minaj does by saying her numbers or her streams and all this stuff, which I find really, 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 really crazy to me because Nicki Minaj, Chance the Rapper, and Kanye West and Big Sean are reasons that streaming are even counted in your accolades. So let's clap it up for them for doing that. So that's kind of confusing to me. I never understood that one. And I'm like, yeah, if y'all understand how streaming even became a thing, it was because of those artists who went and petitioned and fought for those things to be actually counted. Over the years, when Nicki has gotten into it with people, she said a lot about things. Even when it came to the whole Travis Scott situation, when his album went #1, Beyond Queen, and Nicki was complaining about it, people were like, "Oh, you're crazy," and she was like, "No, I'm tripping out because his album is #1 for selling hoodies. He sold hoodies. It wasn't an album, it was a hoodie. You're counting hoodies as album sales." So when Nicki tried to go and do the same shit, they changed it so she couldn't do it. You get what I'm saying? So when you have stuff like that happening, that is crazy. But it's also crazy because Nicki, one, her shit does numbers, but it has to also be acknowledged half of her sales album wise and stuff be pure album sales, meaning people are going to buy CDs, they're buying vinyls. You get what I'm saying? People are kind of going to the traditional sense of obtaining music when they're getting Nicki Minaj's music, plus the streams. But they're going to go buy things, and the same can be said for other female artists. And for the female artist specifically, for the female rapper specifically, nobody to this day, nobody's outselling, nobody's outperforming, and nobody is doing the numbers Nicki Minaj is doing. So it's just crazy to me that people try to go on this whole rant and tangent like she's hating on people. Hate on you for what? Hate on you for what? So that just really be crazy to me. I don't be understanding that. Like, we are saying Nicki Minaj doing all that because she hating on the other girls. Hating on you for what? You're trying to get on. What did she have to hate for you for? She's what? And again, it's not no dick riding shit. This is just it's facts. It's math. Look at go Google. I love all the other girls. Lotto, Doechii, Megan, Saweetie, both of them. Yeah, I love it. But I'm not delusional. I'm not delusional. And I hope nobody else is this damn delusional because the stats is not the math not mathing. So with all that being said, I just feel like the Nicki Minaj thing now with people calling with her calling everybody a name. I'm out. It does have a few reasons as to why she's doing so, but a lot of those influencing factors are, the bot things behind the scenes that we don't always be in the mix for. It's the strategic manipulation of these large corporations and machines trying to knock down artists, and this is nothing new. You can watch and listen to other people's interviews, not even in rap, but in R&B, in pop, who the industry operates in a way to try to knock you off, especially when it comes to rap. But when you hear about artists getting shelved, when you hear about manipulation that CEOs and label owners and award show seats and voters and stuff are doing, the bribery, the payola, the way these DJs operate, like y'all, it's called the industry's a game for a reason. People are not saying play the game just to say play the game. They're saying that because it's a game. People will stab you in your back. People will lie to your face. People will steal your music. People will steal your money. People will do shit to you. Like I said on the last artist spotlight, if you haven't seen it with Baby Syfe, it's out now. Go watch it. But when I tell my cousin, people get pitted against each other for no reason, just to see who sells more. That's literally what happened with Cardi B and Nicki Minaj with Atlantic. Y'all dropping albums on the same day just to see who gonna sell more. Y'all are doing things intentionally to try to knock the next person off. And now you're creating and fostering beef that never was even there to begin with. And y'all do it with newer artists who are not accustomed to the game, who are not aware or attuned to the shit of the industry, because they'll bite the bait. Versus those seasoned veterans, versus those people who got plaques and Grammys. You're not going to be that damn naive and gullible. But when you fresh, when you new, when it's your first photo shoot, when it's your first award show, when it's your first Grammy, when it's your first album release, it's your first album party, you get caught up in the rush, in the fun, in the thrill of it all. No, Sam Smith. That you bite the bait. And I'm not here to say Nicki Minaj is perfect. That motherfucker problematic as hell, and I gotta clap that on that. I am not gonna sit here and act like that lady not a problem, child. She is problematic. That defending that lady is hard. But one thing I can stand 10 toes behind every time is that music. Okay, I don't go to bat behind her personal life and all that kind of stuff, because child. But when it comes to the accolades, the achievements, she ain't personally do nothing crazy in my eyes. Now, who she affiliates with, who she going back up, sometimes I be having issues, like her pedophile brother. You know, and I'm sorry, that pre-3DO brother or that husband. Now, I kind of understand the story of what's going on, but I don't know, having that attachment on you as an offender. No, I don't. I'm not built for that. That's the love y'all got. I can't. I'm not built for that. I won't near nobody. I ain't never dated nobody. Never gonna be marrying nobody who got registries. What? We can't move without you registering for. My God.
Jesus. Jesus.
My God, my God, my God. Jesus. But I cannot always call this woman crazy because she don't be. How she goes about stuff is entertaining. Sometimes you may want to, go about things a little bit different. But one thing about me, maybe it's the Aquarius in me, maybe it's just me as a person, I got to stand on business, big business, every time, and I'm bring it to your face. Now, I don't got to be aggressive with you. I don't got to be, highly confrontational. I don't need a whole audience to know we here. But we going to talk and we going to address these things. And I'm not sure, and I want people to understand this too, we as people, we don't know what the hell going on behind the scenes of this shit. We don't know what's going on behind the scenes of the industry. We don't know what's going on behind closed doors. None of that. I don't know if there was other options she tried to utilize, like a text message, or I heard people say why she just ain't call Jay-Z or why she don't just talk to SZN. I don't know if they tried that. That's a good question. But if they did, then what? If they tried to do that and it didn't work out, because, again, I believe the biggest thing she arguing for is the fact that she owed money from Jay-Z, allegedly, all of this is alleged. The whole story, the whole case. The whole case, alleged. The whole comments, alleged. But allegedly, she's owed money because Jay-Z sold Tidal. And I don't know if y'all remember this because y'all was saying she's lying about that. I don't know if y'all remember when Tidal got released. And I got to remember that we have people now born in 2005 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 9 and 10, child. So maybe y'all don't remember. But she signed along with other artists like Rihanna, I think it was Madonna, Jay-Z, Bruno Mars. It was a whole Beyonce. It was a whole group of people, Kanye West, who came and signed to be a part of Tidal and had ownership in Tidal. And I think she had like 3% of that. And allegedly, she was offered $1 million after Tidal sold for $300 million, which that's confusing. But go off. So if my math is correct, I think that's she owed a little bit more than the $1 million, and she didn't take that. So that's what she's going off now for. So I just want y'all to recognize, people be crashing out sometimes, and Nicki crashes out. Chad, I really couldn't defend that damn Megan Thee Stallion crash out. You fragment foot. I couldn't defend that one, child. Now that song was a key. Bigfoot was hilarious to me. 'Cause I know, where Nicki came from. I know Roman. I understand that caricature she does. But just because she's crashing out does not mean she's crazy. Does not mean she's on coke all the damn time. Now, I don't know. I don't do coke. I ain't ever seen people do coke. I don't know nothing about that. I don't know nothing about that. I don't know nothing about that. And I don't know what symptoms of that looks like. So I don't know what that woman does. But she's not always crazy when she's confronting problems. And just because she's confronting them in a way that you don't like does not mean she's crazy. Or that you wouldn't do doesn't mean that she's crazy. Because if I'm not, everybody that she crashed out on, from Kim, Cardi, Megan, Remy, Travis Scott, her point had a point. Her point had a point. Her point had a point. And I just wish people would sometimes focus more on the reason of the crash out versus the fact that you're crashing out. You get what I'm saying? It is so crazy. And y'all, this is what I'm talking about when I say the industry. Right now, you can pull out your phones. We'll do this together. Pull out your phones. Go to TikTok and type in Nicki Minaj pose challenge, right? It's this little pose challenge where she doing this, or people are recreating this sit down cross leg pose that she did in the music video for High School with Lil Wayne. There's now a pose challenge going on for Megan Thee Stallion. And when I say this pose, child, it's so forced. It's so forced, and it's so in your face. Just like this president shit. It's so in your face when people tripping out. It's in your face. You can see it. You can see it. You can see it. So y'all, stand your ground. Nicki, stand your ground, girl. Chill out, because you beefing with SZA is crazy to me. Wicked work. But SZA also inserted herself into the shit. Nobody called her name. I have to acknowledge that SZA inserted herself, and I would encourage her to girl keep it cute before Nicki get into that booth and hurt your feelings, because that's the thing that y'all don't like now. I will say this new generation of people don't like the disrespect Nicki does do when she does it. That's the part. Back 5-10 years ago, y'all, Nicki disrespect was hilarious. Okay, we all just said, "Ooh, that's disrespectful. Ooh, we finna fight." Ooh, now y'all write essays. This is why she needs to grow as a person. That's not right. That's not nice. So leave that lady alone and give her money. And Nicki, put your phone down. Okay. It's draining. It's draining. You is a key, and I love you through and through. But girl, wrap it up. Okay. Let him have it. The hell you need that little money from Jay-Z? Fuck it. You good? I'm done with that one. So this next situation, y'all, I don't even really want to get into it because I just felt like I've had my rant for the day about racism and shit. But we gonna cover this real quick. So I can get to my fun shit. Neon got caught out on Breakfast Club as of recently. Yeah, I'm saying all because the way they cooked fried, laid to the side, had a obituary, a burial, and a homegoing ceremony for this man. That motherfucker died. But he came back. Okay. So if y'all don't know, and I didn't know, so I had to look this person up. So I had to look this person up, but it's a guy named Neon, and from what I understand, he is a streamer. And he works with folks like Kai Cenat and Aiden Ross. Now, this story is a key to me because I truly, truly don't understand what streamers do. I thought streamers like played games, like video games real well, and was like just like some cold snipe shit type things. But apparently that's a different kind of streamer. I guess the streamers today, from what I understand, from what I see, are people who try to be like iCarly, but like a watered. They ain't even iCarly. They ain't even doing segments, and they just kind of sit in a room, and it's mostly men. That's the part that get me. It's like men in a room, like 10 plus people in a room. The room be looking musty as hell. It just be looking musty as hell, and they just mess with each other and talk to their chat. Now y'all put me onto some shit if I'm wrong. I'm 27. I don't watch a lot of streaming. When streaming was a thing, it was like, again, Twitch. It was like people playing games, and I just never understood Kai Cenat. I didn't understand Aiden. I never understood what they do. I did like Kai Cenat's streaming university situation. That was cool. A little creative space. I love that, but I don't understand what they do. They kind of just mess with each other. They do zesty shit with their friends and cry about people thinking that they gay. Then they or they're just being annoying or disrespectful to people on the street, like for no reason, and then got their bodyguards to try to save them, or they're just disrespecting women on camera. So I don't know what. Do your thing. Clap it up. No disrespect to the streamers. Shout out to y'all. We all in this little digital community, but I just don't know what y'all do, and I really don't understand what will warrant you to be on the Breakfast Club. But hey, but basically, Neon, he is a streamer. He was on a Breakfast Club, and him and the host started getting into it, like real bad about the fact that he's been racist for a lot of his life. Now, they talked about, I believe, Kai Cenat again. I guess at some point, this guy and Kai had issues or was beefing at a point, and I guess Neon said on social media he would fuck Kai Cenat's mom, and that she is a fat Harriet Tubman ass bitch. They went on and kind of got more into like how racist his streams be, or how his chat be racist during his streams. And you know how over the years he's had other racist rhetoric. Now y'all looking into this man, he has a lot of clips of him just being racist to people in a face. He has a video saying that black people are his least favorite race. He has a lot of racial baggage. Now, at first, I was a little confused because this boy looked like he was 14. So I was like, what? On the break, I'm like, okay, how can this 14-year-old have a history of racism? Like, you 14. What the hell is going on? But apparently he's 20. And, you know, I guess they're talking about when he was like 16 to 20 or something like that. It's really, really crazy. Now people are saying the Breakfast Club needs to be canceled for how they treated him. And I'm not gonna say, I'm not gonna lie. The interview was hard. It was like they was very much on his ass, very much on his heels, and it was, you know, it was a hot interview. It really, really was. But it was about racism. And personally, do that shit. Yes. Now, again, as I was looking into this guy, he has videos from like 2024 of him saying and doing some racist shit. It's less than a year ago. You know what I mean? And I want people to understand you can unlearn bias and racism, because he kept kind of having that as his defense, like he's grown. But he's 20. So I'm like, okay. But you are able to unlearn those things. Like I said earlier, these are things that are taught, that are ingrained from households and people who are raising you. So when you have these ideologies, and I think he went to homeschool as well, so he wasn't even around people a lot. These are ideologies people around him instilled, and from the sounds of it, from what I'm understanding about this man, it just sounded like his family wasn't a good family to be raising him. It just sounded like they had their own racial issues and things like that, and they embedded that in him, and that's what he ran with. Now, that echo chamber does not necessarily mean everybody else got a racist phase, because that's some shit I've been hearing too. Everybody has a phase. No, the hell we don't. Who was we? I ain't never have no racist phase. I don't know what person logically, racism is not a fad. You get what I'm saying? It's an ideology. It's a belief system. Just saying the N-word or not saying the N-word doesn't make you not racist. You get what I'm saying? When you are trying to unlearn those things, you have to put in the work, such as holding yourself accountable and being able to hold yourself in a sense of acknowledging the shit that you used to do or the thing that you believe, and acknowledging them as wrong. And it takes accountability to address that thought process. And it takes, honestly, action to consciously combat those things. Apologize. Okay? And white people, y'all have to operate in a way that you're combating white supremacy actively. Because white people are the only group of people that can operate in the system and not even know they're in it. Because y'all, y'all designed it. Y'all designed it, y'all uphold it, y'all push it forward, and now y'all upheld it so damn long, you have POC doing it to themselves. So when you are unlearning those things, it takes a process. You can unlearn those things, and you can be racist 1 year, and 5, 10 years later, no longer that. A whole new person, an advocate, an activist. You can be in these streets for real, really upholding moral integrity and making sure the collectively are doing well and prospering and advancing together. You can really do those things, and I'm gonna clap it up for those who have. But like I said, just not saying the N-word don't mean you're not racist. When you say shit like blacks, oop, that shit's in you. When you say shit like I'm not fond of black men or women, I got a preference. I'm not really attracted to that. That shit's in you. Saying shit like I have black friends. Oh, that's it. That shit's in you. I'm not a racist. I have black friends. Look, that shit's in you. You know, and that's not necessarily severe racism. It's not hot racism, but you have prejudices. Like we all do. We all have bias. And it's just the difference in how you approach it to address those things, how you knock those things out of your mind. So for the whole situation with the Breakfast Club, I'm not mad at them for hopping on your ass. I'm actually glad they hopped on your ass now because you 20. I wish they would have hopped on your ass a little sooner. I wish your parents would have hopped on your ass a little sooner. Because again, that kind of hatred is taught. And I'm glad they cussed you out and embarrassed you now. Because I'd rather you be 20 and have years in life to live to grow and be better than to be, I don't know, 80 fucking years old damn near running a country in a presidential seat advocating for illegally deporting people because they look illegal. You get what I'm saying? It's hard to address those things then versus now. So Neon, and I'm not gonna hold y'all from his interview and from the things that I've seen about him. I really do believe he's trying, or at least a little bit trying to be better and to grow, and just doesn't have a I guess strategy or plan in place to do that. But I can see the want to be better. And that alone is a good sign. But I want people to know racism don't go away overnight. It don't just stop because you feel like you're ready to stop. That's not how that works. It's a process. It's uncomfortable. People might cuss you out. You're going to make mistakes while you're still trying to unlearn those things. But it's important that if you are trying to stop those things and trying to be better and trying to grow, try to educate yourself, be uncomfortable. You have to be uncomfortable because people are going to point out the thing that you didn't know was wrong, which you should have known was wrong just by the things. But people are going to hold you accountable for it. Don't run from it. Don't back. Don't get mad about it. But take it for what it is. If I, as a black person, tell you, hey, white man, that was racist, and you say, no, it wasn't. Hold on. I can tell you why this was racist. You get what I'm saying? I as a black man, I can let you know. You get what I'm saying? So take that for what that is. And lastly, don't defend the fuck shit. Don't defend things that you did that were wrong. Be okay. And also acknowledge that at a young age. It's okay to say, I was wrong. I admit I made a mistake. Successful words. If you know, you know. But I admit I made a mistake. And I apologize. I'm sorry. That hurt people's pride so much to admit they were wrong. But we human. We gonna grow, we gonna be better. But if you cannot acknowledge those kind of things, that's when I'm concerned. Because you don't see nothing wrong with what you're doing. That's when, that shit in you. Real bad. And it got a chokehold on your goofy ass. So put the work in. Apologize for things and move forward, but actively be better. And remove yourself from people in spaces that don't want you to be better, that are keeping you stagnant in mindsets that are not beneficial, that are harmful, not only to yourself but to other people. And Breakfast Club, I ain't canceling y'all, child. Y'all did what y'all needed to do. Could have been a bit more professional, absolutely. And recognize this boy was 20, but you were being racist. So condemn that and stand that aggressive against it. And Neon, continue to learn from the situation and grow from it. But don't defend it, because people, you have to know why you're being addressed the way you're being addressed. All right. So to wrap up, let's talk about it with King. We gonna go ahead and throw it back to season 1, where I went and reviewed items I really wasn't fond of, and today I just, again, having a really good day. So I was like, you know what? I was driving home and I was like, you know what? Maybe it's time I spin the block, and maybe the experience would be different. And that's what I did. I spun the block, and today we will be reviewing Crumbl cookie once again. Okay. Now, if you ain't see that episode, go back and watch it. It's on the channel. Y'all, them shits was nasty as the fuck. I don't know who the hell authorized those items, and it pissed me more off just because I put my money into that. I spent my money on that. So I said maybe it's just right to try it again now. So that's what I'm doing. So I got 3 things this time, because last time I spent damn near $20 on cookies I took a bite of and threw away. Okay, so this time we got 3, and I hope you can see it. I got hold on, I'm trying to get this box right. I got this, which I think is like a lemon. Hold on, let me pull up with the. Hold on, I pulled up real quick what the hell type these are. I got different ones from last time, and I'm gonna just go down the list. So this one is North Carolina lemon pie. I think it's a cookie, but it might be a pie because it's in that tin. This middle one is a cinnamon crunch cookie here, and then this one is a Oreo. I'm sorry, cookies and cream cookie. Now, I'm already getting nervous once again. Because cookies should have a smell to them, right? Cookies should have a scent. And I don't smell a fuck thing out of this box. So, I don't know. We gonna go down from right to left, okay? So the first one we gonna try. Yeah, I'm laughing because I'm really trying to be positive. So this one, I'm gonna really try to be positive. People thought I was playing last time, but the bitches was nasty. So this time we gonna eat these hoes and have a smile. Okay. This is the Oreo or the cookies and cream. Y'all, this is concerning me because it don't smell like nothing. I don't. Okay, this side smell like a Oreo, but nothing. I don't smell nothing on the other side. We gonna go ahead. We gonna go ahead. Let's get into it. Delicioso. Woo! This is something. Hold on. It's something in here. Oh, it's like a cream. Okay. Now, taste wise, is it's good, and it's just not for me. Okay, maybe it's just not for me. Um, texture, that bitch was soft. I will give it this time. Okay, that was a soft cookie. The last time I had these, all of them was hard. It was that one was a little soft, and I'm assuming because it's a cream on the inside, but it's just not for me. So I'll give that one a 7 out of 10. That's a king's rule of a yay. All right. Now we going on to this next one. Um, this cinnamon crunch cookie, and I'm hoping y'all, cause I love me some cinnamon. So the last time when I had, I think it was like a strudel one or something like that. It pissed me off. The snickerdoodle, that's what it was. It pissed me off because I love me some cinnamon. I do. I do. And I don't mean cinnamon sugar. I just mean cinnamon, just as a spice. I love me some cinnamon. And I love me some cinnamon toast crunch. So don't piss me off. I can smell this one, and it smells cinnamony. Okay. Okay. All right. All right. I feel like, uh-huh. That was good. That one. Now that one. I'm gonna eat that one. That one. Yes, sirree. Absolutely. Hmm. That one, delicioso. Um, and I mean it this time. um, I'm not a fan of this cream that's on the top, like this white cream that's there. Not a fan of that. But I ain't getting no part of the cereal. But the cookie itself, oh, 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. Good job for that one. Good job for that one. Texture, flavor, absolutely. Now, last but not least, we have this, what is it, cream pie? North Carolina lemon pie. Okay? Um, Now the whatever's around this don't got like a flavor to it. It don't really got nothing to it. It ain't nothing really there. But for this one, I got me a little spoon. So give me 1 second. Hold on. So we gonna try it this way. I'm not. I think this is a pie. It ain't giving me cookie. It's in this little tray, and it's like a lemon on top. Presentation. This is cute. This is cute. Okay. So this is a pie. This is the pie, like a literal pie. Can you see it? Can you see the pie? Okay, so this is a big scoop. Bon appetit. Let's get into it. So good. My God. It's it's wait. Ruh-roh. um, calm down, stomach. You tripping? You tripping? You tripping? You tripping? Oh, so we gonna thank you, Crumbl. Thank you. Thank you. I really like the cinnamon cookie. That was real good. And then that Oreo. That Oreo was decent. So thank y'all for tuning in to today's episode of Royal Voice Motherfucking Podcast. Yeah. Yeah. Thank y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed today's episode. Ooh, that cookie, that pie. It is not agreeing with me. that last one really did it. Thank y'all for tuning in. I hope the show was good today, and I know it was a little more politically heavy than it usually is. But I really want y'all to understand where we are in the world right now. I promise future episodes we ain't gonna get all this into it, and I ain't gonna be this damn in my chest. Anything in my chest, this shit is just fucked up. And I really want y'all to understand that. And I really want y'all to understand where we are as a country. And I want y'all to understand the future's bright. We optimistic, even in the face of oppression and uncertainty and worry. Don't be fearful for nothing. And I've said that before in prior episodes, and I'm encouraging y'all to stand on that. Now, with all that being said, make sure you follow up with the brand and the podcast and all of that. Follow us on our socials on Instagram and TikTok at Roy Voices Podcast, all one word, as well as the YouTube channel Roy Voices Podcast. Follow us for the brand on Kvngdom. On Instagram and TikTok for KVNGDOM.co on Instagram and TikTok. Go ahead and get your Kvngdom merch on Kvngdom.com, KVNGDOM.com. And of course, follow the kid, your host, on Instagram at _JAYTHEDON_. Thank y'all for tuning in. Love y'all. Be safe out there. Remember, we reign forever. Y'all have a good one.